Congratulations to Gutha Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, or middle school grades 7 through 8, also win Visa gift cards. Contact us info@testpreppundits.com or call us 844-383-7844. Visit us www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, mallipuvu, lanti sukumari. Darling, darling, daring, andala rasi, mallipuvu, lanti.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Gold and Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com or call us 844-383-7844.
సిలికాన్ ఆంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS 𝐓𝐕𝐀 గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1844626 బడి.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం TTA ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో SPBకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అప్పురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో మన లక్కీ మహిళ. బోలెడంత ఎక్సైట్మెంట్, వండర్ఫుల్ విన్నింగ్ మూమెంట్స్.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్ చెప్పారు, మీరే గెలుచుకున్నారండి. కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్, $220.
సెలబ్రిటీ హోస్టులు, అదిరిపోయే పంచులు, సరదా సరదా కబుర్లు.
ఆశ దోశ అప్పడం బడ హెల్ప్ మీరు ఆడుతున్నారు.
ఇలా మరెన్నో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్స్ తోటి ఫస్ట్ యానివర్సరీ జరుపుకుంటోంది మన లక్కీ మహిళ. Watch it live only on TV Asia Telugu.
TV Asia Telugu ప్రేక్షకులందరికీ hello and welcome back to yet another fabulous episode of our Talk Show with Experts. మనతో ఉన్నారు మన expert రాహుల్ రెడ్డి గారు. రాహుల్ గారు, thank you so much for being on the show today with us.
Thanks for inviting Nitya garu.
Today's program has been brought to you by the Test Prep Pundits. Test Prep Pundits are home to the top 1% of scores. They're offering 2 weeks of free SAT prep for high school and middle school students. please visit their website for more details on the sign-up process. The program has been supported by movers.com and Malabar Jewelers. Watch us on Yup TV, Facebook, YouTube, Sling TV, World BBTV, and Dish Network. So Rahul Garu, coming back to the topic for the day, Andy, travel while the AOS is pending. I know there's like a lot of ifs, buts, and don'ts for this topics. So what are some of the tips and precautions that you would suggest to all our viewers today?
First of all, if they have an advance parole, they can just travel and come back. Absolutely no problem.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people are worried about, okay, will I get married to the adjustment of status if you travel in adjustment of status? You may, well, if you are on H4 visa, you definitely are getting married to the adjustment of status. If you're on H1 visa, you can still extend the H1B visa after coming in, as long as you work for the same company that filed for the H1B. But obviously, there are also other options. If you want to get back to the H4 status, or if you want to get back to the H1 status where you can actually transfer or free-file the application, there are ways around it. You can go to travel to Mexico and come back.
Right.
That's one thing that is there. The second thing, this is for the advanced parole people I'm speaking about. If advanced parole is approved, they don't want to go for stamping and they just travel and come back, they can come back in advanced parole. And if they still want to refile the application or maintain the H1B, move to a different company by maintaining though, all they need to do is go to Mexico and come back. H1B, H4, they can do that thing.
Okay.
Now, for the people whose advanced parole is not approved, when they travel, they have to get their H1B, H4, L1, or L2 get stamped. They must have the stamp in the passport for them to come back into the country. Just because you filed a 485 application, you cannot return back into the country. Now, there are a lot of rumors that are there that you will be abandoning the adjustment of status application. That's what the rumor is there. Okay. Now, it may be applicable to about 80% of the adjustment of status cases, but it's not applicable to the people of most of our audiences, though, because there is an exception. If you're coming back on H1, H4, L1, or L2 visa, you are not abandoning the adjustment of status.
Okay.
But if you are, for example, an F1 visa, if you're another visa, though, O1, P1, Q1, TN, and some other kinds of visas. So then you are abandoning the status. But if you're going to India, you're coming back on H1, H4, L1, L2, you are not abandoning the status. If you are on B1, B2, F1, F2, if you're on O1, O2, O3, P1, P, and a lot of other visas, you are abandoning the status. But if you're coming back, you're not abandoning the status. You are not abandoning the employment authorization document which is pending. However, you are abandoning the advance parole, also called as I-131 application.
Right.
So if that is still pending, if you go, they may deny the I-131, also called as advance parole. This is only if it is the initial filing of an advance parole. If it's an extension, they will not consider that as an abandonment. In the initial application, if it is abandoned, though, you went to India, you got the stamping, you came back on H1, H4, all you need to do is that file this I-131 application again, and there is no filing fees for it. So that can be done easily. You're not abandoning the adjustment of status. You're not abandoning the EAD. It's just the I-131. You can refile it again.
Okay. Okay, so that seems like a fairly straightforward.
It's a fairly simple process, not a complex process.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. All right. On that note, let's start taking our callers for today. But before that, Rahul Garu, is there anything else that you would like to add to what you just said?
One of the things that I want to modify a little bit with regards to the what was being stated before, with regards to when you do the interfiling from EB3 to EB2,
yes,
by filing a 485J supplement, which was created last week, Friday, do you need to stay for 180 days with the old company? There's a little bit contradictions in what I stated, though. Okay. Now, according to the new USCIS guidelines, though, it says that you may have to wait for 180 days after you do interfiling though. However, when I look into the 485J supplement guidelines, it doesn't say that you have to wait for 180 days. It only says that you have to wait for 180 days since you file the I-485 application though. I don't know where they got it, the USCIS got it, they put it in there. Now, there is also another controversy about what the USCIS said on their website, because there are two things, I-485J instructions and this porting of the date is a little bit conflicting other things.
Okay.
How are they going to enforce it? Because there is no process of withdrawing the 485J supplement. There is a process of withdrawing the I-140 application. There's no process of 485J supplement.
Okay.
The entire premises of this green card is that the job offer must be there. So the job offer, if the job offer is filed with the 485J supplement, there is no process to withdrawing it, how they are enforcing. So it's kind of iffy deal at this point of time. Until further clarifications with the USCIS, I would like to hold that a little bit to interpret in such a way that maybe we should conservatively say that it's 180 days. If you move within 180 days, you may lose the EB2, but you won't lose the 485.
Okay.
So you will still, there's a good chance you may retain the EB2. There is a chance you may not, but you will not lose the 485 if you leave the company after interfiling after interfiling 485J for 180 days if you move.
Okay, that's like the safest bet for our...
Right. Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. On that note, let's move to our callers for today. Let's take our first caller for the day, Andy. Caller with number ending in 8253. We're ready for you now. Please press *6, Andy, to unmute your line. *6 to unmute your line.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir, please.
Yeah, can you hear me, right, ma'am?
Yeah, we can hear you, totally.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, without taking time, thanks for taking my call. I have two questions. Both are based on EADs. Actually, I have 485 EAD. I'm the dependent. My wife, she's the primary, and it's an EB3. It's an EB3 EAD. And I'm planning to go to India next week. And right now, I'm on H-1B, but I'm planning to go on EAD. I want to travel on EAD and come back on EAD. So my question is like, what documents do I need? Do I still need to carry my H-1 documents, or when I come back, all I need is just the EAD card? It's an EAD AP combo card, and I can just able to allow to come back in the U.S. when I come back.
You just need an EAD and advance parole for you to come back, of course, plus the passport. Rest of the documents, if you want to carry it, it's just for your satisfaction, carry it. No problem with it. But it's going to be only advance parole and EAD for you to travel back into this country. Now, advance parole and passport. Now, I just want to note that in some of the airports, though, the advance parole is not processed at the CBP entry. You know, when you come into there, there's long lines. You stand in the line, and then the officer will come and take you. It's not that serious. So this is in some of the airports, there is no way to process it there itself. They'll take you, it'll take an hour extra for you to get the processing. But as such, it is not a problem. I mean, I've never seen any advance parole guy getting denied entry unless they have some major criminal records that we don't know about.
Okay, so basically I need an EAD AP card and passport. I can also, of course, I can carry some documents just for safety, but that's all I need.
Documents, just
so when I come back,
but don't show anything else, so they'll get confused. Because this is what happens. Okay. You know, when I go to Walmart, the best thing to do if I want to buy a Coca-Cola is that go pick up a Coca-Cola, pay that guy, here is the money, get out. If I try to show my bar card, I will say that I'm a Tvasia, I'm in the Tvasia, Nitya is the host and all those things. I speak at immigration, the guy will get confused. When you're coming back, just show them the advance parole. Just, you want to carry any of the documents, carry them just for your satisfaction. Only show it to them if they ask.
Okay, only if they need it. And once I come in, I will be pretty much from H-1B, I will transfer, I guess I'll become a adjustment of status on EAD, right? My status will change.
That's right. Right, but if you want to reverse
what happens to my...
If you want to reverse it back, you can go to Mexico and come back. And you may ask a question, I don't have the visa to go to, I don't have the visa to come back. That's the reason I told you to go to Mexico. It's called automatic revalidation. In our TV Asia show, we call it as margarita visa. So all you need to is that you go to Mexico, have a margarita, you come back, you tell that you're working with this ABC company, here is the H-1B, they allow you to enter into the country, and H-1B give I-94 with H-1B.
So even if I go for a month, like even after I go to Mexico after a month, when I return to US, so that 1 month, my status will be on EAD, and after that, I'll be back on H-1B again when I return.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
And what happens to my wife? My wife, she's the primary, and she's also on H-1. Will anything affect to her because she's the primary? She also EAD, but she's on H-1B. So can she stay on H-1B if she wants to?
Nothing. What you are doing is affecting her.
And eventually, if she wants to.
Let me explain you though. You are separate and she is separate. She is the main applicant. If something goes wrong with her, you will be affected though. Something goes wrong with you, it doesn't affect her. So if you move to EAD, she's still on H-1B.
Okay. And if later on, if she wants to interfile from Eb3 to Eb2, she can still do it even if I use EAD. That's not a problem, right? Or even if she wants to file a new Eb2 485, she can still do that.
First of all, you're raising very good questions. First of all, if she is on H-1B, you go and travel, she can interfile. But she can interfile or refile. For refiling, you as a dependent, though, you need to be on a H-1B visa. For that, you have to go to Mexico and come back. But your travel is not affecting her.
Okay.
But
if she decides to refile, then I have to come back. And I have to go to Mexico and come back, and I have to be on H-1B.
Only because she needs to join you as a dependent, though. Not because she wants to.
She needs to join me as a dependent. Okay.
No. Because you need to join her as a dependent, is that right? That's the reason you need it.
Yes.
She doesn't need it. You need it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. If she's refiling, then I would need to be on H-1B. Okay, got it.
That's right.
But if she files interfile, then I don't need to do anything, right? For interfile, there is no problem. I don't need to go outside the country.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. Good questions.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
Refiling.
Sir, thank you so much for calling, Andy. All right, let's take our next caller. And Rahul Garu, I have a question for you. This is from Gandhi S. Says, I downgraded from EB2 to EB3 on October 2020. Both I-140 and 485 are pending. Let's say I interfile from EB3 to EB2. What happens to my interfile if my EB3 I-140 gets denied in the month of March?
According to the 485J instructions, though, they said it very clearly, if the underlying I-140 has not been approved, they will deny the 485 application. That's what the 485J instructions tells us right now. That's been there historically, that the underlying I-140 is denied. You may have a problem with your entire 485. However, though, when the instructions for this upgrading interfiling, they have not clarified it very clearly. That's the reason we have to go back to the 485J supplement, because 485J supplement has been there for almost like 4 years now. So according to their instructions, you will not be able to get the green card if the basic I-140 is denied. We strongly recommend people that if you are doing interfiling, don't do it unless the underlying I-140 is approved. And if the underlying, do the premium processing. And if they don't approve the premium processing, take the application, keep refiling. They will eventually accept your premium processing.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 7009. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 to unmute your phone line. Hello?
Hi.
Hello, sir.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yep. Hello, Nitya and Rahul Reddy Garu. My question is, my company A filed under EB2 and I-140 was approved in 2012. Company B acquired company A, and then last October we filed under EB3 as an amendment. So I-140 approved, EAD advance parole received, medical submitted, and 485J also approved. So then the dates went back. So now what are the options for me? Can I interfile under EB2?
You can interfile under EB2. but your EB2 is technically cannot be used because it is with company A. You are working with a successor of interest called company B though. If you want to use the interfiling thing to move to EB2, the best thing is that to file a EB2 I-140, standalone EB2 I-140, as an amendment to previously approved EB2 I-140. Once the second I-140 with the EB2 amendment gets approved, then you should interfile.
Oh, okay. So typically I have to file the EB2 I-140 again.
Yeah,
as an amendment.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, thank you. So
okay,
my next question, so what is your prediction on EB3 movement? Since all the people are interfiling to EB2, is there any chance of EB3 moving forward from at least from May onwards?
We don't know how this interfiling process will work though. If they are going to just, this interfiling started only last Friday, 10 days ago, right? So if they start pulling these files and approving it very fast, you may be right. I mean, EB3 may move forward too, right? But will they do it or will they not do it is a question of interpretation though. At least when we look into the intention, the way that the USCIS is acting though, they definitely have an intention to adjudicate the 290,000 applications though. If that happens, then the advancement for the EB2 and EB3 should be very well in the next 6 to 8 months. I mean, all the way to October of 2022, the movement should be very fast. But will they adjudicate it though? If you look into the last quarter of 2021, which ends in September 30th though, they adjudicated 86,000 green cards though. In the first three quarters of the 2021, they only adjudicated the 75,000 green cards. At the end of September 30th, the total number of green cards that were pending were only 245,000 green cards though. If they keep on adjudicating at the pace at which what they did in the last quarter though, we'll be in a good shape. But when we look into the trends though, the first quarter was not equivalent to the last quarter of last year, the first quarter of this year. The first quarter of this year ended in December 31st of 2021. The trend is not as good as last year, but it's way, way better than the first quarter of the 2021. So we'll have to see if they adjudicate it very fast, then the EB3 movement and EB2 movement will be very fast. If they don't, we don't. So if you have not written the letter that the Tvasia has put it, the link there, please write the letters. We have seen a very significant improvement of how they have adjudicated the applications, thanks to all of you writing letters to the congressmen, senators, and also to the USCIS. But it all depends, as I said, the priority date movements will depend on how they adjudicate it.
One more question, like now, can I use the EB3 EAD since I already have that EAD in hand while doing EB2 interfile?
Absolutely, you can do that. Just because you have used the EAD for interfiling, you will have no problem, none whatsoever at all. Let's go to the next person, Andy.
All right.
That's great.
Thank you so much for calling. Yeah. Let's take our next caller, Andy, and I have a question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Kumar K. Says, I'm on H1B with employer A and plan to file a concurrent. I'm not sure.
Concurrent H1B with company B?
I think it's, was it similar to the previous caller or?
No, this is different.
Oh,
what
he's
asking is, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. With employer B, does USCIS notify employer A about concurrent H1B during the H1B renewal? And should the concurrent filing be part-time or for full-time employment?
First answer to the question is that USCIS will not inform company A that you have filed or company B has filed a concurrent H1B. There is no way for them to inform it. They may even lose the job if they do that. It's confidentiality. You can't do that. Second aspect is that can the second job be a part-time or full-time? The second job can be full-time. I mean, I'm used to working of 80 hours, especially when I was young. When I started my practice, I used to work 80 hours. Not anymore. I only work 60 to 70 hours now. Now, coming to the point, the second job, you can even put like 20 to 40 hours. So you can put an hourly wage and you can put 20 to 40 hours in the LCA, in the I-129. In that way, you have a flexibility of working 20 hours or 40 hours. Can you put 5 hours to 40 hours? Absolutely, you can put 5 hours to 40 hours too. In that way, whatever hours you work, the company will be liable to pay that much only. If you work 10 hours, they will be liable for 10 hours. If you work 40 hours, they will have to pay 40 hours. You have the flexibility in the second job. So you can put, normally when we are doing a concurrent filing, we always do 5 hours to 40 hours. That leaves a very good flexibility for employer and employee.
Sorry, Andy. My apologies. I've been having severe allergies and having non-stop coughing. So I'm just going to mute myself while you talk, Rahul Garu. And on that note, thank you for that. But let's move on to our next caller. Caller with the phone number ending in 7728. We're ready for you now. 7728. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Hello, Nitya ma'am. Hello, Rahul sir. You guys are doing a great job. A lot of information there. I had a quick question. I have my I-140 still pending, done in October 2020, and my EAD and AP has been received. I did not.
You meant to say approved or received? Approved or received?
I-140 is not yet approved.
No, EAD and advance parole were received, you said. Do you mean it's?
Yes, received, sir. So they have been received, but my I-140 amendment, yeah.
When you say received, you mean to say received by the immigration, is that right?
Yeah, no, received by me. I got the EAD approved and I have it.
Thank you. So that means you had the approval in your hand. Okay. Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but my I-140, I did an amendment. I did not do a new petition, the downgrade one, Eb3. So is it possible to take a new job or a second job using the EAD card? Will that have any issue? Should I inform my employer?
Why did you file as an amendment though? Is it because of error by
there was
the
a
lawyer, or is
confusion
it like
at that time, sir?
There was no confusion. The guy doesn't know what to do. But the previous caller, there was a change in
I did not follow you then, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Previous caller had a successor of interest, so he moved from company A to company B, so they had to file an amendment. So
yeah,
technically speaking you definitely can take the EAD and then you can work 2 jobs though. Typically, if you are working for the same company, the chances for the EB3, I mean, not looking into the factors of the ability to pay on the issues, typically they are less than 5% chances of rejection though. Now, obviously, if they're rejected though, you should stop working on the EAD and then you can go to Mexico, have a margarita and come back on H-1B. Okay? In that way, you will move back to H-1B.
Yeah, I've filed 4 times.
Because you're getting...
For premium.
I'm sorry, I know, keep trying. First of all, the amendments are very... Amendments are very tough to get it compared to the regular processing though. But yeah, this is one thing. I mean, people, I know we have given a lot of instructions to getting married to the adjustment of status. However, there are some easy ways of getting divorced though. It's just like getting divorced in Las Vegas, if getting married and getting divorced in Las Vegas, the things are easy there. So if you have the H-1B with your current company though, and if the H-1B I-94 is still valid, to get divorced from your adjustment of status and move to H-1B, I will give you an easy thing called margarita visa. All you need to do is that go to Mexico, have a margarita, you come back, you show them the H-1B approval, you're good. That's it. All they're going to ask is, are you working with company ABC? Yes. Do you have a job? Yes. Do you have a pay stubs? Can you show me? I mean, at the most, they will ask you, can you show me that you're doing the proper job with ABC, which you are. So you will not have any problem in coming back and you're back on H-1B. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller. And there's a question for you. This is from Sam. Says, I got my EAD advance parole approved for my AOS, but the issue is USPS lost my package delivery. Now I'm not sure what I should do. Do I need to reapply or will they provide a replacement card?
Normally, when the USCIS loses, though, there are two things that will happen. One, they lose it. Sometimes they send it back to the USCIS. If they send it back to the USCIS, you can contact the USCIS. You can update the address and they may send it back to you. That's one thing that you can do. The second thing is that I will try to do it within a month's time or so. If you still do not get any activity from USCIS, refile a EAD for an advance parole for replacement.
Okay.
And when you refile, you fill out the 765 I-7 and you print out the approvals of those things. Make sure when you're refiling though, okay, make sure you send the pictures again though. If you don't send the pictures again, and fill the entire 765, entire I-130, attach as if that you're filing a fresh 765 and I-131. Attach the passport size pictures and send them the approval. The approval when I say is that I-7 on the online status, print that out and show them that it's been approved and request them for a replacement card.
Okay. Easy as pie. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. And let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 2531. 2531. We're ready for you now. Hello.
Hi, Rahul and Nitya. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, my question is, I'm currently with an employer E, and on the basis of adjustment of status EAD, I mean, I have a job offer which I'm supposed to join in a week or max 2 weeks with employer B. My question is, what are the possibilities of interfiling if ever I move to employer B based of EAD with the previous employer, if at all I move on?
What is your priority date? What is your priority date you said?
Yeah, I'm playing like I'm a priority date is actually in 2014 May, but I'm considering, I don't know, I mean, looking at September 2013 and all that, don't know.
I can estimate the things though. I may not be as accurate as you are. So you filed adjustment of status right now, right? You filed adjustment of status right now. So
I downgraded and got the EAD and I-140 approved everything. Yeah.
Okay. So if you move to the different company though, the main question that pops up is that will your company A cooperate in doing the interfiling even though you move to the company B? That will be the question mark. You're telling that, can I do the interfiling with company? The answer is yes. Even though you move to the company B, company A can still interfile 485J supplement, telling that move my guy from EB3 to EB2. They can still do it. The only question is, will they do it for you?
Okay. I mean, while working for employer B, will they do it? That's the question, right?
That's a question. That you need to ask yourself and you need to ask your employer, definitely not your employer. You have to gauge yourself with your employer, what relationship you have, will they do it? They can do it. They absolutely can do it.
Okay. And last question quickly is 2014 April, like, I mean, I really don't want to wait, right, for so many years. So I
have given my speech in the 5 minutes to 15 minutes of the video of this one. I want you to watch it. Then you will figure it out whether the dates are going to move or not. Because every time we get locked,
I'll do that.
The horns get locked out. What do you expect in the priority date? Okay? Okay then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller. All right. And while we're waiting, I have a question. Rahul Garu, this is from Macho HPK. Says my priority date is April 2013. If I file 485 in Feb, since my priority date is current per dates for filing, and if it retrogresses or USCIS accepts the final action date March onwards, what will happen to my 485?
Your 485 will be processed, will not be approved. Your EAD will be approved. Your advance parole will be approved. But your green card will not be approved. That's all. For the green card approval, your final action date has to be current. And you will have the liberty, since your I-140s are already approved, you have the liberty to move out of this company even though the final action dates are not current, even though the filing dates are not accepted. You can move out of this company to another company once 180 days have been passed.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 3082. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 to unmute your line. Hello? Hello?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Hi, hi, good afternoon, Rahul Garu and Nitya Garu.
Hello,
Thanks
sir.
for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah, so here is my situation. My priority date is February 2012. I was with employer A by the time. I got my I-140 approved, stayed with him for a few years, and then moved to, employer B, and then, employer B also filed, and then, unfortunately, I have to move to employer C by 2019. I did not know the dates will move forward like this. So I have not yet filed my 485. My current situation is my current employer, they're going to file my labor in 1 month. Okay. So now the labor approval, it may take like more than 6 months or, 1 year, we don't know. So my priority date is February 2012 EB2. As we all know that it got current in December 1st bulletin 2021. So here my question is, two questions. My first question here is there any USCIS rule that we need to file 485 within 1 year of date being current in the final action date, even if we change the employer? And
That
the second question is,
first let me answer. That is only if you're working with company A or company B though. That thing is not applicable if you're working for company C.
Okay, since I changed the employer. Okay. The second question is, I have an aging out daughter.
And so let me go back. Let me go back why this rule is there. Hey, your I-140 is approved. Your final action date is coming. What are you sleeping around? Because we need to do our calculations. That's the reason why they put that rule. But if you moved out of the company though, that rule is not applicable. You can still file, not a problem. Now we're speaking about the aging daughter. Go ahead.
Yeah. So second question is like similar to the first one. Is this rule still applicable to lock the age even if I change, since I change the employer? So do I need to file within 1 year of date being current to lock my child age?
No. No.
That is also not
no.
applicable,
That is
right?
no. That has nothing to do with child. That has nothing to do with your child locking. Nothing to do with it.
There's 1 year we need to do something like that. It's not there, right? Are you sure?
No. If it is not with the same company, that rule is not there.
Oh, okay, sure. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That is the main exception, because you told you have an I-140 with company A, you have an I-140 with company B, but you are not filing 485 with either A or B. You are filing with company C. That rule is applicable with company A. That rule is applicable with company B, but not with C. But one suggestion that I have for you is that you may want to contact company A and company B to see if they're willing to file a 485 for you right now.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy, and I have a question for you. This is from Mehul Shah. Says EAD and advanced parole extension has been applied, originally expired in Jan of 22. H1B 797 until 23. Visa stamp expired. Need to travel to India. Any issue for EAD advanced parole renewal? And is H1B drop box available? Last renewal was done in Mexico.
So his EAD and advanced parole has been applied for renewal, is right?
Yeah, extension has been applied. It already expired in Jan.
Got it. As far as the drop box is concerned, he is eligible for drop box even though his last stamping happened in Mexico, as long as his first stamping, whether it's a H1B or F1, has happened in India. This is a new rule that's only applicable until December 31st of 2022. After that, the rule changes though. That's number one. Number two is, you asked a question, EAD and advanced parole extension is pending though. If the extension is pending, you can travel it. I have described previously that the advanced parole will be considered abundant, but not in your case. The reason why it's not in your applicable is that abandonment is only if it's an initial application of advance parole. In this case, you're filing an extension, so the abandonment is not applicable. Your EAD and advance parole will still be approved.
Awesome. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our caller. Caller with the phone number ending in 0209. We're ready for you.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi, Nitya Garu. Hi,
Hello, sir.
Rahul Reddy Garu. Hi, how are you? Yeah, thanks for your help for our community. Yes, sir, I have a question regarding a 485 application. I went for the downgrade in 2020 in October. My priority date is August 2011. So I got a EAD and a AP, and I got a I-140 approval also. But from that onwards, I didn't get any movement in my application. So can we do the expedited for the 485 application? My company, type of business is a healthcare management. So is there any option for the 485?
Healthcare only allows, if you're on the healthcare, there is a chance for you to expedite the EAD. Is not for adjustment of status.
Oh, okay. So medicals also can't be, we can't do anything for the medical. I didn't submit initially for the medicals.
Go ahead, do the interfiling right now.
There is no way to
do the interfiling.
Yeah, I did.
You did. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I
good.
did, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't attach it because I took from the FOIA.
FOIA,
so
okay.
The medicals are not attached. Yeah. So
yeah, unfortunately, nothing can be done right now. No other way right now.
Okay. So Texas Service Center. So another question, is there any approvals nowadays are you able to see in a EB3 from your form, like from the Texas Service Center? Because
yes.
in the articles,
yes.
when I look in the website,
yes.
Yes,
no,
okay.
we were pulled out from my desk though, not from the entire law office of the Red Union PC though. From my desk, I pulled out the cases that I personally handle myself. I am putting a record of it. I'm publishing it. It's getting published not in my web blog, but it's getting published in my business partner, Emily Newman. And the website is called immigrationgirl.com. You can see, is it EB2, EB3? Was it downgrade filed? Was it a straight application? Is it Texas Service Center? Is it Nebraska Service Center? Is it National Benefit Center? And what is the priority date? And we publish it. It's updated on January 19th. It'll be updated most probably tomorrow also. So you can see the trends of each month, how many cases are getting approved from my desk. Okay?
Sure. And last question, sir. Receipt date will you Texas Service Center will consider or priority date? How it works in a 485 application, the process?
First of all, for the processing though, you have to understand if the final action date is not current, they cannot grant the green card. You're out. Okay? If the final action date is current, in your case, it will be the processing date from the time you file the application. So their processing date now says it's about 20 months.
Okay. So after 21, so can I make a expedited request from the ombudsman for the 485?
You can, but here is the problem though, man. Here is the problem though. They may, once you go to 20 months, they'll say it's 24 months.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you can request it, but it has to cross the processing time for you to request it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Folks, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a quick commercial break. See you then.
Test Prep Pundits, a synonym for success, and a home to top 1% scores. Congratulations to Gutha Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, or middle school grades 7 through 8. Also win Visa gift cards. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844. Visit us, www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, malli puvu, lanti sukumari.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Gold and Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
సిలికాన్ ఆంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS వాస్క్ గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1844-626 బడి.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం TTA ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో SPBకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో
Welcome back, folks. Let's start taking our callers without any further delay. Let's take our next caller, Andy. And while we're waiting for the caller, Rahul, I have a question for you. This is from Chandrasekhar Kambalapalli. Says some attorneys are saying the 180-day clock will reset once you transfer underlying basis. Is it correct?
They may be correct because there is
what is underlying basis, Andy? Sorry.
So what he's telling is that, let's say, for example, he is moving from EB3 to EB2.
Okay.
And he is working with company A. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he's now moving from EB3 to EB2. Does he have to stick with company that filed for adjustment of status and is also moving from EB3 to EB2? Does he need to wait for 180 days since he files this 485J supplement?
Oh.
Or does he have to only wait for 180 days from the time of I-485?
Got it. Okay.
So there is a conflicting information because in the recently published information by the USCIS, they are indicating that you may have to wait for 180 days for this one to be effective. But when you look into the 485 instruction, when you look into the 485J instruction, so it doesn't say that you have to wait for 180 days. And there's no process for the I-485J withdrawal. So I'm not telling they're wrong. They may have a sense, but we will come to know in future whether or not we'll have to wait for 180 days. So one thing is for sure, if they move out of the company after they file the I-140, after they file the 485J, the EB3 will not be a problem. It's going to be at the most EB2.
Okay.
Because the underlying application is not going to be denied, but the EB2, they may or may not consider. But there is no mechanism for them to withdraw it. There is no mechanism for the USCIS to adjudicate because the I-485 clearly says it's only 180 days. So I don't know how they are going to interpret it. But yes, there is some truth in what they are telling. I'm not telling they're wrong at all.
Okay, fair enough. All right, thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 3715. We're ready for you now. Hello?
Hello, Nitya and Rahul Garu.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I had two questions, Andy. Question one, I'm moving from company A to company B, and my H1B, like my current H1B with my company A, was renewed also like last year, and it's still May of 2024. Now my company B has transferred, and the H1 is approved last week. and my H4 EAD for my wife is pending. It will take some time, as you know. So my question is, how long can my wife work if it is in pending status?
When your H1B got extended until May of 2024, does your wife's H4 EAD also got approved until May of 2024?
Yes, with company A, it was till that point.
Got it.
Yeah,
so let me wait. You told me that. You are telling me that your wife's EAD is now expiring in 2024, though it may have got approved with company A, is that right? She can continue working until May of 2024, sir. Even if your H4 plus EAD is pending until May of 2024, she can continue working. Absolutely no problem.
Okay, even if like this new company B's EAD is still in pending, I don't have to worry until 2024.
Absolutely. You told me that the EAD is valid. The EAD is given to her, not to the company. H1B is given to the company. H4 is given to your wife. As long as you maintain the H1B and she is your wife, she can continue working because you told me the EAD is expiring in May of 2024.
That's right. Just that it is in the it's from company A, not from company B.
Nope, it is for your wife. Her name is XXX.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Thank you. Then. Second question, yeah.
Oops, I think we lost a caller. I'm sorry, sir. Do try calling back again. In the meantime, let's take our next caller, Andy, and I have a question, Rahul Garu, for you. This is from Surabhi Verma. It says, priority date is October 2015. Have an EB2 I-140 approved. Is there any issue if I apply for a second I-140 in EB3? Will it have any impact on the EB2 I-140?
None. It will not have any negative impact, none whatsoever at all. In fact, you are doing a very good job if you would do the EB3 also. Because what we noticed is that when we are filing the 485, standalone 485, they are getting adjudicated much faster rather than filing for I-140 and 485 at the same time. Because most of the people we filed I-140, 485 are taking long time. It's a very, very good step that you'll be doing. It's worth the investment what you're doing.
Okay. Awesome. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 5702. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 to unmute your line. Hello? Hello? Caller with phone number ending in 5702, Andy. Hello? Let's put this caller on hold. Okay, hold on.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, ma'am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, ma'am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead. Sir, please, can you please mute your TV line, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so my question is like, my 140 applied in October 2020. But for some reason, we refiled in January 28, 2021. And that application is moved to Texas Processing Center in July. After that, we trying to upgrade for a premium upgrade, but Uscis is saying that they don't have the original ETA document and they're requesting from other processing center. We tried 7 times actually. Every 1 month we are applying for a premium upgrade. Still, we are not getting through. How to proceed in this case?
The only option other than refiling is suing the USCIS. And typically, the lawyers charge anywhere between $2,500 to about $5,000 for that.
You're asking to sue them? Yeah. It's not an internal issue, only USCIS internal issue. My attorney is saying.
It is internal issue, but we sue them, then it will become easy for us because they don't have any defense why they are doing it for other people, not for other. And why would it take such long time? When we file a freedom of information with USCIS online, though, it takes only 15 days for them to give the labor certification, the copy of the original labor certification. They give it to us in 15 days. How come these dumb guys are taking like 1 year to do it? That's a question when we sue the USCIS, we say.
Yeah, not only that. Actually, they found that the original processing center is also Texas. Original processing means application also went to Texas processing center.
Yeah. I know, but there's nothing other than refiling and suing. When you sue, you get to ask the question. It goes to the judge. When you keep refiling, you did 7 times. We have some cases that we did 15 times. We're still doing it again. Most of the cases got approved, but some of the cases are still redoing it. Yeah, you do 7 times. Yes, that's right. You can do 1 more time. But we don't get to hear our voice by an independent judge. That's a problem with USCIS. You can contact the ombudsman if you can, but you don't get a proper response. Right? When you sue, they have to answer to the judge. This guy is telling you take only 15 days if you file a freedom of information to give his labor certification to him. Why is it taking that long for you? You have to answer that question. But what they do is actually they don't answer those questions. You know what they do? They resolve the problem, and then we have to withdraw the lawsuit, which will come in our favor. Though that's the best thing that I would recommend that for you to do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller. Rahul Garu, I think I'm going to ask one question, I'm sure, which is on a lot of people's minds. And typically, I think historically, people from like India and wherever we all come from, Desis, are always told to stay away from suing organizations like the USCIS. And I do see you mentioning, suing is the only option. So, just to clear it for everybody, does suing the USCIS in any way impact our actual application? Because I'm sure everybody is very scared of that, what if they reject my green card just because I sued them,
We are not in Saddam's era. This is not Saddam Hussein. This is not those kind of the Saudi Arabia, UAE. The best thing, just like the way for Hindus going to temple, for Christians going to church, and for Muslims going to masjid, in the democratic system, going to the court is the best thing that you can do. We're not trying to be terrorists. We're not trying to do anything bad. All we are telling is to go to an independent judge, ask the question. The Constitution has created it. A lot of people have will they take a revenge? No, they cannot. Look at it. Can Trump do anything what he wants to when he was a president? Yeah, he would have just terminated us, everybody, and sent back to India. That's what. But no, there is a legal system. There's a basis there. And if something is violated, we can go to court. In a lot of the instances, especially, until Trump era, our office didn't used to go to court that many times. In the Trump, every 4th H-1B is getting rejected. Everything gets rejected. And they created all these new systems. Look at it. In the H-4 EAD, they created a system for biometrics. Why did we need a 4-year-old kid biometrics? We challenged it. Guess what? They withdrew those things. We did the class action. So our office did the class action in that thing in H4. We still are fighting to get the reduction of the time. We have to go to court when you're getting injustice. 15 times. The $2,500 you're spending on the premium processing is probably worth spending on the lawyer to sue the USCIS. And you have a better chance of getting the result. Right. And nothing wrong in suing. We are not doing any illegal activity. We're not doing any immoral activity. This has been there in the system. That has been created according to the Constitution. The Congress has created it. So that's the best thing that we should do. In India, we go to politicians, but if we go to hear politicians, that doesn't get resolved either. So that's the best way here.
No, but thank you, Andy. Thank you so much for clarifying this.
The reason why United States is progressing, we are about 25% of the entire GDP of the world. Not because these people have better engineers, because these people are better doctors, because their legal system is the best in the entire world.
Okay. Thank you, Andy. Because I know that, growing up it was always told to stay away from, the legal system or, don't do this because it might have repercussions. And we're always raised with that sort of, mindset. So it's
of course,
someone.
That's the reason, Nitya Garu, in India, what they tell the kid is that if you're intelligent, you either become a doctor, and if you're brilliant, you become an engineer, and if you're good for nothing, you become a lawyer.
Oh, come on! No.
That's all. Here it's not that though. It's different.
No, I think the discussion is more around, okay, if you're this one, then stay back in India versus, if you're good for something, then just leave, and that's why it's so important for someone like you to provide that reassurance for people, I think, because everybody sits scared and they're afraid to use the facilities that are provided to us by the legal system. So thank you for clarifying that for us, Andy. And on that note, let's take our next caller with the phone number ending in 5027. We ready for you now?
Anita Garu, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hi, Rahul Garu. I'm working with employer A, and I received a job offer from employer B that is completely remote position. If employer B applied my H1B with my, currently I'm in Boston, so with my Boston address, and after 6 months or 1 year, if I plan to move to New Jersey or some other place, whether employer B has to reapply my H1B, or if it is sufficient if my employer B inform USAS that I changed my location.
The employer B has to file something called amendment. If you are changing the location, physical location of where you work, they have to. Is New Jersey the place where your employer is, or you're just contemplating to move to New Jersey?
My employer is in New York. Employer B is in New York.
So what you can do is, normally what we do at our office is that if you are in Boston, your employer is in New Jersey or New York, whatever the city in New Jersey is, we normally put both locations on the LCA. We normally put both locations on the I-129. So what happens later on when this COVID dies down, hopefully so, if the company tells you to go to New Jersey though, when you go to New Jersey, you don't have to file it again. You see my point?
But if I go to some other place like North Carolina, in case,
then you have to file an amendment. Then you have to file an amendment.
So
if
it's like
your
again,
location,
new H1B.
It's not new H1B, it's considered as amendment. You don't pay the entire filing fees again. You pay just only about $420 or $500, under $500 you pay. You don't pay the entire fees.
Oh, got it. Great.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Hardly anything. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller, and I have a question for you, Rahul. This is from Sammy. Says Eb3 485 is pending for more than 180 days and got a promotion to the next level with the same job description. While interfiling to Eb2, is there any issue if you mention the new job title in the 485J?
No, I don't see that an issue at all. Your promotion is in the similar occupation. You're not moving out of it. It's a natural promotion. Let's look into it. Some of the people's I-140 was filed initially in 2012. In 2012 to right now, 10 years. Are you still in the same Java 2.0? Now it has changed to 8.0. Sometimes you may have even moved from Java to SAP. That's perfectly still in the software profession. You're good. No problem with it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with the phone number ending in 0721. Please press *6 to unmute your line, Andy. Hello? 0721. We're ready for you. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, we can hear you.
Hi, Nitya Garu. Hi, Rahul, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Please go ahead.
Hi, Nitya Garu. Hi, Rahul, sir. Thanks a lot for all your service to the community. Sir, same scenario, sir. Like, I have applied 485 in October 2020. As per your suggestion, we upgraded the 142 premium and approved, as well as the EAD and AP is also approved. So now the same thing where we have to upgrade to the EB2 with the interfiling.
What is your priority date? What is your priority date?
March 2013, sir.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
So expecting it to be current next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the question is again on that 180-day clock reset, whatever they're telling. So as per you, the EB3 will be safe, right, sir? Even if we upgrade
EB3
and
will be
if some layoff or
EB3 will be safe.
Okay.
Absolutely not a problem. EB2 may be a question mark.
Okay.
Maybe a question mark.
Okay, but my
Not will be.
But my entire 485 will not mess up or anything.
No.
Those kind of things will not happen.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Thanks a lot, sir. This is a question
Sure.
many of us are having. For sure, good karma will come back to you for all the help. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller. And I have a question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Leela Pitani. She says, my daughter got EAD card without my I-140 approval, downgraded to EB3. Can she work?
Well, she can, but she will be married to the adjustment of status the once she starts working. If the I-140 gets rejected, though, she may have to go. She have to go outside the country to come back on a H4 visa. That's the only problem that she has.
Okay.
There is no legal requirement that the I-140 must be approved for you to start working on the EAD. It is not recommended. The reason is that what if the I-140 gets denied? What will happen? I would rather want to get the premium processing if they accept the premium processing. But the only risk is typically when you're working with the same company, though, the I-140 rejection rate is less than 5%. So that's the risk that you'll be taking. If that happens, then she has to go outside the country and come back on H4. The child should happen.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with phone number ending in 3721. 3721, we're ready for you. Please press *6 to unmute your line. Hello?
Thank you, Nitya and Rahul Garu.
Hello, sir.
Thank you, Nitya and Rahul Garu, for taking my call. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so priority date is July 2014, EB3 straight. Filed AOS in October 2020. Received EAD parole combo card.
Sorry, priority date is what? July
2014, EB3 straight.
EB3 straight, okay.
And I filed AOS in October 2020. Received EAD parole combo card. Currently still on H1B with the existing company. Two questions. First one, if I join a new company on EAD, they would need to file the I-485J only when the priority date gets current or something, or does something need to be done in terms of portability while joining? That's first. And second one is that if I join a new...
Wait, let me answer. I strongly recommend to file the 485J supplement even when you at the time of joining. Is it a must that you have to do for you to use the EAD? The answer is no, it is not a must. It's strongly recommended because when the company withdraws the I-140 though, they may issue a notice of intent to deny. So that's where some of the problems will come in. If you file a 485J, it will be very clear, but it's not a must though. Go with the second question.
Got it. Thank you. And the second one is if I join the new company on H1B as a transfer, can I still hold on to the EAD, which I received from the previous company as a backup option? And can the new company do an I-485J when the date gets current, even if I am not on EAD with them?
Absolutely. They can.
Lovely.
They can.
That was pretty much it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Even though you're on a H1B, they can file a 485J supplement. There's no need that you have to use a EAD to file a 485J supplement. In fact, there are some people who are moving to a different company even when the EAD is not approved. They're just moving on H1B. It's been more than 180 days. The 485 has been pending. That is possible too.
Okay. Awesome, Andy. Let's take our next caller. And Rahul Garu, there's a question for you. This is from Bobby Manuel. Says, when are you expecting premium processing for F1 change of status? I-140 applied 28th Jan of 2021, Texas Processing Center, trying premium upgrade, but USCIS replying the original ETA 9089 document.
There's two different. Did you say F1 visa, he said?
Yeah.
then the question, probably two questions came together. One of the things is that there is no proposal right now there is no immediate proposal to have F1 visa approved in premium processing.
Okay.
With regards to the second question, as far as the premium processing filing many times though.
Yeah.
Right now you can keep on trying. While you keep on trying though, if you want to, the best solution, as we discussed before, is sue the USCIS.
Sue the USCIS, okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller with the phone number ending in 3094. We're ready for you now. 3094. Hello?
Yeah, hi Nitya Garu. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Rahul sir. I have a question. Actually, I was working earlier with the consulting firm and with the end client, and my GC was filed with them, and even EB2, I think it was filed from your company too, with your firm. But then after working for more than for a couple of years, I moved to the end client as a full time, and then.
So did you file the 485? Did you said what is your priority date?
No, I'm not. My priority date is 2016 EB2.
Okay, keep going.
So when I transferred to my end client, right, as a full time, so then they filed again the green card. They need to start all over the process, right? So then they started and they filed in EB3. The reason is they stated that they are not going to count the experience of whatever I worked as a consultant with them. So they took all that, and then they said that since the master's degree is not mandatory, they filed in the EB3. Since although I have a master's degree, US master's degree, so so now I have a EB3 with this new company with this end client. So what can we do in order to get into EB2? So do we need to start all over again, or is there any other way to move from this EB3 to EB2?
If you want to stick with the same company and want to strive to get into EB2, you cannot use the same labor certification because they didn't set 5 years experience is required. They didn't set master's is required though. They will have to start labor and I-140 all over again.
Okay. So so in that new requirement, when they want to start all over again, so if they put the US master's degree is required, then
that's good. That's good.
Then
that's good enough. It's a position requires a master's degree. Yeah, that's good enough. Then you will get into EB2. Okay. It's either master's degree or 5 years experience. It's not both.
Okay. Okay. So another thing is, so if at all, if my company is not agreed to file again in EB2 another one, so what is your take on this EB3 2016, sir?
Right now, the demand for IT profession is the highest that it has ever been, though. Except in the time of wars, there is a demand for soldiers. Is right? They will try to catch anybody who can shoot an arrow or who can shoot a gun. They will recruit those people. Even if the guy doesn't know how to lift a gun, they will hire them. That's how the situation is for the IT profession. You have to realize your value and you need to demand the terms with your companies. I want this, otherwise I'm going to shoot you down, not shoot you down. I'm going to leave the company. That's how the demand is. Remember, highest demand when COVID came in March of 2020 without the IT profession and the whole world was dying. The whole world is still dying. What happened? Sometimes some spectacular thing happened. Your IT is in very high demand. Now they say that we have moved into, we have advanced IT 5 to 10 years because of this stupid COVID. And you are at the highest demand. You should demand it. If they don't give it, go to another company or go back to your old company. Come back to us.
I'll do that, sir.
We'll do. Come back to us. We'll do EB3. We already did EB2 for you. Why? You said you have an approval of the I-140. You have an approval of I-140 with our client. Come back to us. We'll welcome you for EB3. You already have EB2.
Sir,
okay.
Yeah, I'll ask my company to do it now, but it takes 2 years, right? In these 2 years, is there any way for EB3 to progress?
That's your choice of going there. You stick with my company, you would have been EB2 and EB3. Okay.
Yeah.
You are at the highest demand. You should demand.
Yeah.
Can you mute your TV light, please? Go ahead, sir.
Sorry.
No, so what I was asking is there any way, I mean, recently in the last week, we heard from news that EB2, there are a lot of number of green cards available, right? So is EB3 going to stay like that forever, or?
It's going to, I don't want to expect the priority dates. I don't want to block the horns with you or anybody else right now. All I would say that is that people should be having flexibility of EB2 and EB3. If you have the labor certification of EB2, you're flexible for EB3 if the company wants. But if your labor certification is only under EB3, unfortunately, you will have to do the whole 9 yards. The prevailing wages, the recruitment, the form filing, and I-140 all over again. Okay.
So I can use, if I have both, I can use any of them, right? That should not harm any.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Folks, I know there's a lot of you all waiting on the phone lines as well as the live chat, sending in a lot of very, very interesting questions, but unfortunately, we're all out of time for today. Rahul Garu, thank you so much, Andy, for being on the show with us and for always being so patient as ever with all of our viewers. And thank you so much for helping this whole community, because I'm sure they come in with a lot of questions and, go back with a bag full of answers. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Nidega.
All right. And to all our viewers, please have a great week. Stay safe and come back, see us next week and come back with more questions, because we're waiting with an appetite for your questions. Okay. So thank you and have a nice week.
Test Prep Pundits, a synonym for success and a home to top 1% scores. Congratulations to Gutha Mandala for achieving SAT score 1570, Farah Khalil 1540, Kunal Varma 1510, and many more top 1% scores.
Join our 2 weeks of free SAT Premier Prep.
For high school grades 9 through 12, or middle school grades 7 through 8. Also win Visa gift cards. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844. Visit us, www.testpreppundits.com.
Darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti sukumari. Darling, darling, daring, andala rasi, malippuvu, lanti.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Golden Diamonds.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
సిలికాన్ ఆంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS వాస్క్ గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1-844-626-BUDDY.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం TTA ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీతారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు,